Broad daylight on a crowded shopping street. A racist cop presses his hand tightly around a woman's throat. She gasps, terrified, struggling for air. Her eyes wide with fear. People freeze, some lift their phones to record, yet no one dares step forward. The officer's voice cuts through the air, filled with venom, shouting that she is trash, treating her like a criminal with no worth. The crowd stirs, tension grows, and then the camera shifts. From the line of shocked faces, a tall shadow emerges, steady and unshaken. It is Chuck Norris. His presence alone changes the air. The question is clear. If you witness this injustice right before your eyes, would you remain silent or would you step in? The day began like any other. Chuck Norris walked calmly through the heart of the city with his wife at his side. She, a woman in her late 50s, carried herself with grace and elegance, her gentle presence radiating kindness. She held his arm lightly, enjoying the rare simplicity of a quiet afternoon together. Chuck, dressed in plain clothes, tried to blend into the crowd. For once, he was not the action legend everyone knew. He was simply a husband enjoying a peaceful outing. Around them, life carried on with ease. Families strolled, children's laughter echoed through the street. Shopkeepers greeted customers, and the sun lit up the scene with warmth. It all felt safe, almost ordinary, like nothing could disturb it. Yet beneath the calm surface, something lingered. A strange weight in the air. A quiet sense that peace is fragile, that danger can strike in the most unexpected moments, and soon their perfect afternoon would be torn apart. As Chuck paused at a shop window, studying something with quiet interest, his wife moved just a few steps ahead, enjoying the gentle rhythm of a peaceful afternoon. She walked with grace, her calm presence blending naturally with the bustling street. Shoppers carried bags, children laughed, and the air felt ordinary, safe. But peace is fragile, and it shattered the moment a uniformed cop fixed his gaze on her. His eyes carried no professionalism, only suspicion. With an abrupt stride, he cut across her path, blocking her way. His voice, cold and commanding, demanded her identification. Startled, she stopped, her polite smile faltering. She asked why, reminding him she had done nothing wrong. Her tone remained respectful, firm but calm, hoping reason would diffuse the tension. Yet the officer's face hardened. His sneer spread slowly as he leaned closer, spitting words laced with disdain. He mocked her appearance, hinted that she did not belong in this part of town. The cruelty in his voice was not hidden. It was deliberate, designed to humiliate. People nearby slowed their steps. Their eyes darted nervously between the officer and the woman. Some whispered in disbelief, while others quietly reached for their phones, raising them to record. The street that moments ago buzzed with life now felt tense, heavy with unease. The woman tried to step back, her dignity intact, refusing to let fear show. But the cop's arrogance swelled. His hand shot out, clamping onto her arm with brutal force. She gasped in shock, her body jolting as he yanked her closer. The sudden violence rippled through the crowd like a spark. Faces turned pale, mouths fell open, but no one dared to step forward. The officer's grip tightened, his authority turning into open abuse. And only a few steps away, Chuck remained by the window, unaware that his wife was now the target of humiliation, unaware that his quiet day was seconds away from transforming into a storm. No one on that street would ever forget. The officer's arrogance grew with every second. He believed the situation was completely under his control, that his authority could bend anyone to his will. Chuck's wife, though terrified, lifted her voice firmly, insisting she had done nothing wrong. Her words were measured, respectful yet full of quiet defiance. The cop ignored her explanation, twisting her words, accusing her of resisting his commands. His hand shot out again, gripping her collar tightly, yanking her closer. He shoved her against the sleek black car parked at the curb, the metal denting slightly under the force. The sudden movement drew more attention. Passers-by slowed their steps, their eyes wide with disbelief. Some whispered, others instinctively raised their phones, recording, unsure if they should intervene. Chuck, still a few steps away, noticed the commotion. His eyes narrowed, calm and deliberate. He did not rush, he did not shout. Every movement was measured, silent. As he began to approach, observing the unfolding scene with the patience of a predator. The cop's voice rose, cracking with arrogance and fury, calling her names, mocking her feet. His words drew more people from nearby shops, their faces reflecting shock and discomfort. Just then, another officer appeared, walking casually toward the scene. Instead of stepping in to assist, he smirked, folding his arms, enjoying the display of power and control. Tension thickened, the air charged with unease. The crowd's murmurs grew louder, their discomfort mixing with anger. Chuck's wife struggled under the cop's grip, her eyes searching desperately for help, while the arrogant officers believed they were untouchable. But all around, subtle signs hinted that their control was fragile, that a storm they had not anticipated was slowly, silently approaching. The audience feels the pressure rising, the injustice igniting a fire of rage that is about to explode. The officer crossed the line. His hand shot up, wrapping tightly around her throat. She gasped for air, her body trembling, eyes wide with sheer terror. The crowd froze in horror, a tense silence falling over the street. Whispers spread like wildfire. Somebody stop him. Somebody do something. But no one dared to step forward. Chuck Norris moved closer, each step deliberate, silent, a predator assessing the threat. His eyes were cold, focused, a calm so deep it carried an unspoken warning. He said nothing, letting the tension build, letting every second stretch unbearably long. The crowd could feel the weight of his presence, the silent promise that chaos was near yet unseen. The cop, still blinded by arrogance, twisted his victim's fear into mockery. "No one is coming to save you," he sneered, his tone cruel, unaware of the storm that stood just steps away. He laughed, confident that his display of power would remain unchallenged, that the woman before him was completely defenseless. Her struggle intensified, fear and desperation etched into every movement. The air itself seemed to thrum with tension, the bystanders caught in a vortex of disbelief and dread. Every gasp, every shudder of her body amplified the suspense, drawing the audience deeper into the moment. The emotional pressure mounted unbearably, each heartbeat echoing in the silence. Chuck's hand remained at his side, his breathing controlled, his expression unreadable yet terrifying, every muscle tensed, ready to unleash the force that the cop could not yet comprehend. The audience waits, trapped in that moment of dread, knowing that the eruption of justice long overdue is about to strike with unstoppable precision. Chuck Norris finally spoke, his voice low but carrying the weight of a storm. "Take your hands off my wife." The words cut through the tense silence like lightning, drawing every eye on the street. Gasps rippled through the crowd as they began to recognize the legendary figure before them, a man whose reputation alone commanded fear and respect. The cop tightened his grip for a moment, but laughed arrogantly, dismissing Chuck with a sneer. "What can an old man like you do?" he jeered, fully unaware of the storm about to be unleashed. His overconfidence only fueled the anticipation, making the tension in the air almost unbearable. Chuck's steps were deliberate, precise, each one measured, like a predator closing in on prey. His eyes never left the cop, unwavering, piercing through the arrogance with calm fury. Every motion carried silent power, every breath a promise of unstoppable force. Another officer stepped forward, trying to block him, but hesitation flickered across his face. The sheer presence of Chuck Norris froze him, a subtle warning that any misstep could have instant consequences. The crowd leaned forward, holding their breath, feeling the electricity of the moment. Around them, the city continued in suspended shock, bystanders frozen in place, phones raised, capturing a scene they would never forget. The air was thick with anticipation, tension so sharp it felt almost tangible. Everyone knew that the next moment would explode, that the calm before the storm was a fragile illusion about to shatter with unstoppable force. The cop shoved Chuck's wife once more, and that was the breaking point. In a single lightning-fast motion, Chuck's fist collided with the officer's chest, sending him sprawling backward across the pavement. Gasps erupted from the stunned crowd, some covering their mouths in disbelief, while others instinctively reached for their phones to capture the moment. The second officer, witnessing the chaos, fumbled for his weapon, panic flashing across his face. In mere seconds, Chuck closed the distance, grabbed the officer's wrist, and twisted it with precise force, disarming him effortlessly and sending the gun skidding across the street. The sheer speed and skill left onlookers frozen in awe, their hearts pounding. The first cop groaned on the ground, humiliated, struggling to rise, his arrogance replaced by fear and shame. Chuck stood tall, his presence commanding, his wife safe and protected in his arms. Every muscle in his body radiated controlled strength, a silent warning to anyone who dared challenge him. The street fell into a profound silence, the usual city noises drowned out by the shock and awe of the moment. Pedestrians stopped mid-step, their eyes wide, absorbing the raw display of justice. Chuck's calm yet intense gaze scanned the surroundings, ensuring no further threat remained. The lesson was unmistakable. Cruelty and racism would not go unpunished, and true strength is not only physical but moral. Every bystander felt the weight of the moment, understanding that they had witnessed justice unfold in its purest form, right before their eyes. Chuck checked his wife, who held him tightly, her relief visible in her eyes. He did not boast or raise his voice, only gave the defeated cop a cold, piercing stare that spoke volumes. The crowd around them murmured in awe, respect and admiration, a wave of relief washing over everyone who had witnessed the scene. Every onlooker understood the weight of what had just happened. Cruelty and aggression meet their match in courage and integrity. The moral was clear. Respect, dignity, and humanity are far stronger than violence, which only leaves shame in its wake. Justice was served in front of everyone that day. But if you were standing in that crowd, would you have stepped forward or stayed silent?